Hey guys, welcome to Alienware Aurora, our 4-part 3. I've been pulling up my hair, getting gray hair. This computer has been nothing but a problem ever since I got it, due to Windows 10. And I'll explain that after. Oh, and Dell. But before then, let me play my intro. It's live, by the way. I'm doing everything through OBS. Subscribe. Okay. Yeah, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. Well, I should start with on part 2. I ended up finishing up cleaning up on the computer. I installed Windows 10 on 2 Western Digital red drives. These are server drives designed to work with RAID configuration. And put Windows 10 on there. Finished the video, and that's pretty much it. Off video, I ended up installing some drivers from Alienware's, or should say Dell's website. And if you have a look here, we have the BIOS driver from 2014, last updated. You know, it makes sense over time. They won't update any BIOS anything, which is fine. It's understandable. The Realtek audio from 2015, Broadcom Wi-Fi 15, chipset 15, Intel's rapid storage technology driver. Now, this was the important one that I wanted to install first before anything else. So I downloaded it and I went to install it, and apparently it wasn't supported. Then I took a look on the website here, and it was last supported on Windows 8.1. So if you're ever going to put RAID configuration in the Aurora R4, don't. You know what? Better yet, just don't even install Windows 10 on this thing. You'll see that after. I'll explain it. All because of drivers. Oh, and Windows 10 is this sloppy period. Then we got Realtek Media Card Reader 2015 again. Ethernet 15. Intel Management Interface Driver 15. See, all these are important drivers from 2015. So what do we got that's updated? Well, somewhat upgraded is Seagate, useless. Dell services, really useless. We got video. Well, I guess maybe if you have these video card drivers, but that's still outdated. January, don't even bother. Dell Contact, January, April. Like, this is all useless. Well, besides, I don't know, Command Center, if you really want to mess around with your lights and stuff. January was the last. Oh no, we got application here was July, which isn't fairly long ago, but yeah, all the important drivers haven't been updated in a very long time, which is really sad and bad. So I can install Intel's rapid storage technology driver. This is needed for indexing the files correctly. So when you have a file going to RAID 0, when it gets split, it's got to be indexed properly. That way the operating system can find it, because if it isn't, eventually it'll slow down to oblivion, and it could go two ways. One, corrupt your files. Two, screw up the drive. Yeah, screw up the drive. That's exactly what it did. It's dead, and I'll explain that after. So what ended up happening is I couldn't install that. I decided to run Windows as is, which is fine. The other issue I had was I installed Realtek High Definition Audio Driver. This is the Alienware skinned version of the Realtek Manager, which you'll see here right away. This works really well for stereo, but not for 5.1 surround. It will work right off the bat with 5.1, but then when you go to restart the computer, the back speakers just won't work. I have Logitech surround sound system 5.1, which a lot of people do. It's very popular for the computers, and the back speakers just won't work with it. So I contacted Dell about that, and these guys said your computer is 8 years old. They gave me a link in an email to go to their gaming website there and buy a new computer. Screw you guys, update your drivers or get rid of it if it's buggy. I even gave them the new, or I should say the older version of the Realtek Manager driver, this one right here, that actually works really well on here. I have a couple of discs here of the old drivers from other previous versions of the Alienware Aurora, R2, 3, and I think one as well from 2009. And this one works perfectly fine. I gave this to them and they just completely ignored it. They just wouldn't put it on there, which kind of annoys me because the fact that when you do updates with Windows 10, it looks through the websites like Dell here and it finds the driver and then it'll actually update it. So basically what happens is every single time that I run an update, it deletes this and then it installs the broken version, which is really irritating. So I have to have updates blocked. So we click on here. This is what I use in order to block Windows updates. You can use services and disable it like that, but this is right in front of me. I can just click it easy and just disable it, which is nice. So the original Realtek, the good one anyways, works perfectly fine. It's just always having to reinstall it because of Windows updates, always having to remove it. Whatever. So the next issue I had, the whole reason why I got Windows 10 in the first place is I like the idea of having the Xbox app, being able to chat with your friends on there, being able to play cross-platform right from the PC to the console, which is really awesome, and just being able to play modern games as you can from Windows 7 to this. That's the whole reason why I upgraded to begin with, is because of that. Well, I wasn't really sure if it was because of the drivers, but my ports were blocked. Okay, fine. You just go type in 192.168.1.254, right, to go into your modem. Whatever. Log in. Go into your firewall, wherever the heck your port forwarding is, that's where mine is. And you find the IP address of your computer, like go to CMD, type in ipconfig, it will show your IPv4 address, which will be 192.168.1. Whatever last digit numbers, should be 2 of them at least, or 3, and you just open the ports for that IP address and everything should be good. Maybe you might have to restart, whatever. Well, the ports were still blocked. I was kind of wondering why it was still blocked. I checked out other ports and they're all blocked. Every single port on the computer was completely blocked. So I was kind of wondering if it had something to do with the LAN or the Wi-Fi driver. I tried on both of them and they're still blocked. Then I decided to use CMD shell, try to open them up somehow. Maybe went into the firewall and see if I can be able to open them up from there, or just disable the firewall. Maybe it was blocking it somehow. No, that didn't seem to work. Then I kind of ran out of ideas, went onto the Microsoft website and seeing if anybody else had any ideas, and they're pretty much throwing out the same crap I've already tried, and nothing seemed to work at all. So, okay, fine then. The whole reason why I got Windows 10 was the console, and I can't even be able to chat with anybody on it. But I was actually still able to play with people, so that was at least a bonus. Then after using Windows, everything's fine for a while. Did an update, and noticed that the search bar, let me just type in Snagit as an example here. When you searched for something, the entire window here was black. You weren't able to see anything. Since the text is black on black, you can't see what you're searching for other than you can see the icon. So that made it really difficult to see. So another update fixed that. So obviously there's no quality control at Microsoft. They just throw crap out until somebody complains about it, and if there's enough people that complain about it, then they'll fix it. But if it's just one person, well, good luck. It's probably not going to get fixed for you. And yeah, well, a lot of the issues I've been having is they're not fixing it. Alright, well, used it for another month or so. Got up to the 1 terabyte, since one of these drives is 1 terabyte and so is the other's 2 terabytes, right? Having RAID drives. got up to the 1 TB, then I noticed that the system was starting to bog down and it was getting slow, and I'm thinking, oh, it's doing this. I've dealt with this before where I didn't install Intel's rapid storage technology driver before on Windows 7, and you got past half of the data, or got past filling up one drive, and it'll start to bog down. Well, it was doing it on Windows 10. I was thinking, oh no, this is going to be a disaster. It's going to get worse than this. And sure enough, it got worse. It got so bad that I was really worried about my data. I was starting to try to copy data, and usually the transfer rate was about, what, 60, I don't know, it was about 120 some megabits a second or so, and then it bogged down to nothing. It went down to like 10 megabits a second for copying my files the day that I was wanting to copy everything, and then it went down to nothing. It stopped completely. I was wondering, okay, something's not right here. I'm going to have to restart the computer. So I restarted the computer. And then what happened is Windows took a very, very long time on order to load. It took over 20 minutes to load. And I was getting really concerned then. Then I restarted it. And then Windows wouldn't load, period. Then I was really concerned. Restarted it again. Then at the BIOS, it says usually, I think it said normal, but RAID said it failed. And then I was very, very concerned. Then restarted again, and then one drive disappeared from the BIOS. This drive right here. It's dead. So what happened is I decided to pull both drives from the computer. I plugged both of them into the other computer out in the living room, and through a docking station just to see if I could pull off files, because I've had RAID drives die before, or died before, where you can just stick them in the docking station and you can use a recovery, and it creates its own little RAID management system, and you can be able to pull files off. Well, this drive wasn't getting detected whatsoever. Then I decided to plug it into my Raspberry Pi to see if I can be able to pull things off of it. Since it's Linux, it's a different operating system, it wouldn't even detect it at all either. The BIOS from the computer in the living room wouldn't even detect it. So it sounded like it was spinning up. The head sounded like it moved, so it wasn't getting stuck. So I have no idea what the issue was that drive. So I just kind of left it for now. I decided to go out and I bought myself one of these Evo 860 SSDs, and I decided to try Windows 10 again, install the Windows 10 on it, and I was actually really surprised. It loaded freaking quick. It loaded within 10 seconds, but the slowest part was actually the BIOS having to load, so that was pretty awesome. So I decided to reinstall all my software. I had to start all over again. But what was really a bummer, since the drives died and failed, is that I had all my Nikon stuff, all my 4K videos from the winter time. I had a bunch of other videos that are on there. I was going to make a 4K video of the Nikon Coolpix S9 or A1000 camera. Well, those videos are now gone, so that sucks. Poof. I can't make that video now. I'm gonna have to do some type of, which I have been collecting video clips there for making a 4K video for that camera yet. But I was hoping to get winter shots all the way up to summer. I just can't do that now, so that video ain't gonna happen, unfortunately. So I installed Windows 10 on that SSD. Everything seemed to be fine. Ports were open. Everything worked perfectly fine. I decided, you know what, I don't trust Windows 10 enough. I decided to go out and buy Arconis True Image 2019, and I made a backup. And I installed everything, made a backup on the exact same day, which is this day right here, which was last month. Almost a full month now. And, well, I'm back to Windows 10 slowing down. It's bogged down to the point where I'm kind of getting concerned now, and I want you to see this for yourself. Let's have a look at the file manager right here. See that? Let's type in 2. Actually, you know what? Let's type in A. I'll type in A for everything. See how long it took to change that? A. I'm doing this in real time. This is the same issue I dealt with before my drives died. Just before my drives died, and I'm dealing with it again. This is slow. I'm just going to stop there. I'm going to drag across all of them. I want you to see how slow this is. Move this window down. Can you imagine trying to get work done like this? I got a bunch of drives I want to copy all my data and just kind of back things up because the fact that this operating system has... How would I explain it? I lost passwords. I've lost my video files from my operating system on here. I was going to back it all up. It's gone. Then I decided to format this drive and use it as a storage device, right? Start putting a bunch of files on here, and then somehow this stupid operating system turned this thing from an NTFS format to RAW. Then I had to go out and get this program here to try to recover my data. Unfortunately, I couldn't recover anything. It was pretty much dead. Sucked. So I lost more data. I had another 4 terabyte drive that failed on me within a couple of months ago, and so I lost even more data. I probably lost about 5.5 terabytes of data using this computer, so it's very, very unlucky. But now I'm dealing with this again. Slow Windows Explorer, or not, yeah, Windows Explorer is acting up file manager. Let me click on uploads on YouTube here. I know I'm kind of all over the place because I'm getting tired. I'm just kind of getting quite angry over this. Let's click on site details. Have a look at this. Works perfectly fine here, but not here. Pretty slow, huh? But works perfectly fine here. It's bad enough I gotta use a third-party Explorer to actually get some work done. This isn't perfect, but it does work. Oh, look at this. Yeah, I have to use this. Like I said, it's not perfect. I know that sometimes when you go to rename some things here, it says that the file's too large, and it does this bug as well. Have a look at this. It'll disappear. Then you gotta refresh to get the show back up. Bad enough I gotta use that because this one is broken. So I can restore this thing back to this time where it was working perfectly fine, but this was not even a month ago, and it's gonna end up happening again, and I'm most likely going to burn out the SSD by having to restore constantly because those are big. That's a big file. It's like 100 some gigs each every single time, right? So it's got to rewrite it every single time. It's going to end up burning this SSD out. I'm not impressed by that. I'm just going to say screw it. I'm just going to get rid of this operating system. I'm going to reinstall Windows 7, and then maybe I'll just install this as a secondary option just to play games, and that's about it. I'm not going to use Windows 10 for anything else. It's pretty much useless. I have tried to uninstall all my software. I've disabled every single Microsoft update, and it still does this. I can't stop it. It does it on everything but the desktop. Oh, and this. This runs perfectly fine here. Yeah. Uninstalled all software, disabled all Microsoft services, and it still does it. I went into safe mode, it doesn't do it in there. I created a new account on here, it doesn't do it there. So what the heck, I don't understand why it's doing it. I don't know if it has anything to do with account settings or what, but you know, I like Windows 10. I love the layout. I love how the windows are dark like this. I like how you can move things around and all that. It's a really great operating system. I can't use it. Having to change something like this. Jeez, it took forever just to do that. To being able to select something, I don't know, let me go to Chrome Downloads as an example here. Let's do this. Yeah. If I can't have a computer to get work done on it, or I can't have an operating system to get work done on it, that operating system is completely useless to me. I'm going back to Windows 7. I had enough of this. I don't care if the Windows updates aren't going to be supported anymore. I need to get work done. If I can't get my YouTube stuff out, if I can't get any other project stuff out, I can't get other personal stuff out, then because of stupid problems like this, then there's really no reason for me to use this. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I installed the May 2009 update. That's the, what is it, 1903 update to Windows, just to see if their newer version would have fixed the issue. And no, it didn't fix it. Everything else seemed to be fine except for one thing. I want you to see this. Alright, if you take a look up here, this is my top monitor up above. We have my Lorex security cameras. I like to view this all the time, and right now it's running through Google Chrome through IE Tab. This is an extension browser. The reason why I'm using this is because, well, they broke Internet Explorer. Look at this. See this little box up here? This is Internet Explorer. It doesn't work. It just eventually just crashes out on its own. So yeah, I can't even use Internet Explorer anymore. So yeah, that's actually the only thing I use it for. Lorex security cam. Internet Explorer other than that is pretty much useless, but I can't use Lorex on anything else. It's because Internet Explorer has a few features that no other browser has. Mostly it's because the other browsers block them because of a security violation type of thing. So but yeah, it's one of the main reasons why Internet Explorer is still attached to the browser, or to the operating system, is because of things like Lorex security. But Microsoft has broke it. I reported it. They didn't seem to do anything about it. So yeah, I'm going back to Windows 7. This is ridiculous. I need to deal with my YouTube videos, but if I'm always having to reinstall the operating system, get my programs up and running again constantly, this will be the third time if I'm going to do it. I shouldn't have to be doing this because it's taking a long time to get my stuff out to YouTube for you guys to be able to see it. I'm not even going to bother editing this video. It's not even worth it. Everything's so slow because of it. I'm actually surprised this is working. I hope my Elgato works on Windows 7. I don't know. I've never tested it on there. I hope it does. I don't even have any games installed on here. I don't think I do. I might. Oh yeah, I do. I haven't even got to try this yet because I haven't watched that TV series yet. But well, anyways, I wanted you guys to see that. In between Windows garbage updates, Dell's not updating their drivers. Windows 10 is completely pointless to use on an Alienware Aurora R4. Doesn't matter if you got an SSD or not. It doesn't matter what you install. It's eventually going to bog down, slow down, and do stupid crap like this. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. It's very disappointing. I was hoping that Microsoft would have had their issues fixed by now, but apparently, and I'm sure it works probably very, very well, flawlessly on newer version computers, but for older systems like this, Windows 10 is just garbage. Might as well just stick with something older. I could try to install um, Windows 8.1, but I don't like the start menu. I know that you can modify it to have some custom start menu, but I've always liked Windows 7. So I'm going to be formatting sometime soon, so be aware I won't be uploading for a while. I'm probably going to make another update video because there's a few other things I want to talk about. I got other projects I'm doing here right now too, so yeah. I will continue with this Alienware video stuff, but I'm going to do it when it's more together on another operating system. I might install Linux as well. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Please do rate, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.